Hey, it's Dave from CheapWineFinder.com again. And we've got another inexpensive one, under $10 from Trader Joe's, but it's not a Trader Joe's wine. It's a regular brand that just happens to be there for some reason, which I'm not entirely sure of. And let me grab the bottle so I can read it off. It's not that hard to remember, but that way I can't mess it up. It's Peachy Canyon, Lodi Zinfandel 2017. And it was $7.99 at Trader Joe's for a single AVA Zinfandel from a family-owned and operated winery, not a brand wine. And that's a little bit weird. And then I go on Peachy Canyon's website, and it's not there. And one thing that happened is Peachy Canyon is like one of the Paso Robles, that's where they're out of. They're one of the handful of wineries that put Paso Robles on the map back in the 90s. They started in 88, family-owned, the Beckett family. And they've been family-owned, they still are, but the sons broke off, the younger sons, while the father continued to run Peachy Canyon, and they started the winery called Chronic Cellars. You might have seen their red wine. They had a lot of skeletons on the label. That's how I know it. I buy any wine with a skeleton on it. But Sofa King Bueno. Say that fast and you'll get the joke. And that was their wine. They had other wines too, and they sold it off for a tidy sum to a wine company, and they worked with that, as part of the deal. They worked with them for a while, and I think then last year they came back to run the family business. Dad kind of took a back seat, So sometimes, and often actually, when you change winemakers and you make changes in the operations, certain wines don't make it to the other side. And I'm speculating here, because they are a Paso Robles winery, and this is Lodi wine. And they do a lot of single vineyard wines. They have their own vineyards, and they really concentrate on Paso Robles, so this didn't really, I guess, fit. And I looked in the web, and this is selling for, odd prices. I found two internet sellers. One was selling it for $20, the other was $30. And again, it's $7.99 at Trader Joe's. So I don't know if they're selling off a wine that's not going to be part of their staple of wines anymore, and rather than have it compete with their other wines, they sold it at Trader Joe's rather than another wine shop where you're competing against yourself when you sell it off. So I'm not sure why it's selling for $7.99, but it is. So Peachy Canyon actually makes excellent wine. I mean, they're a winery, a family-owned winery. They're not a brand. Not that brands don't make good wine, but there's something about a family-owned winery where people are owning and make it themselves too. They're just something about that. And you got to respect it, and you got to support that. So you're getting an expensive wine that probably was selling for more than what it is. I'm not sure how much more. I think the $20 and $30 prices are like crazy. I don't know who would buy it for that, but I'm going to take a sip. One thing I like about Lodi Zinfandel, I think it's my favorite. There's more expensive areas, but a lot of their wines have this kind of meeting in the middle of classy Zinfandel and rustic farm, spicy, juicy Zinfandel that kind of meet in the middle. It's kind of a style you find there a lot. And this Peachy Canyon Lodi Zinfandel 2017 kind of has that. Even though that's not really necessarily what Paso Robles style is, well, they kind of pulled it off here. So maybe the grapes have something to do with it. Well, obviously the grapes have something to do with it. So it is, even though these are Paso Robles winemakers making this wine, it has that flavor of Lodi, which I am a fan of. I mean, that's my favorite. There's all sorts of really famous Zinfandel wineries out there that make wines that cost twice as much as a typical Lodi wine, and I'm not all that interested in because I like the inexpensive ones. And this gives me that. It's really well made. And I'm going to take another sip because it's really well made. So there you go. Peachy Canyon Wine, Lodi Zinfandel 2017, Trader Joe's $7.99. I don't know why it's there, but it is there. And I like it. And if you're looking for a bargain for a well-made wine, because a lot of Trader Joe's wines, you don't know who, what, where, and when. And here you know who, what, where, and when. And that's it for me to the next one. Keep it cheap. Adios. Stay warm. Stay safe. And I'll be talking to you. Bye-bye.